Okie dokie, can everyone see my screen? Yeah, good. Alrighty. So, welcome everyone to the WorkBC Youth at Work Lunch and Learn. We're very excited to have two presenters today. We've got Megan and Melinda, who are going to be talking about some employment ready tips and also our Start Youth Employment Program. So, before I get started, I'd like to do a territorial acknowledgement. The WorkBC Center in West Shore and Souk recognizes the traditional territories of the Esquimalt, Songhees, Souk, Patcheedaht First Nations on which our offices are located. We're proud to provide employment-related services to these nations. So our agenda today, we'll start with Melinda. She's going to tell us some interview tips, and then we'll have a quick Q&A if anyone has any questions for her. And then we will move on to our presentation with Megan, and she'll tell us a little bit about our Start Youth Employment Program. And then we'll have another Q&A, and then we'll tell you about some info if you'd like to get in touch with us at our center here. For anybody new that did just join, just so you know, we are recording the session. So if you would like to remain anonymous, please change your name or turn off your camera. So we'll just do a little brief overview of WorkBC services. So WorkBC Employment Services are free and available to all unemployed British Columbians who are seeking employment and who are legally eligible to work in BC. We have WorkBC centers all across British Columbia. So if you get registered at one center, you can always transfer to another one if you move to another city. We offer a range of services that support job seekers to improve employment readiness and to find or maintain sustainable employment. Also, any job seeker can access our resource room. So based on your eligibility will depend on the services that you can access, but everyone can access, excuse me, our self-serve resource area that we have at each center. So our resource center is accessing computers. If you need a photocopier or a printer, or if you'd like help from our front desk staff, they can help you out with your job search, resume, cover letter, everything along that lines. We also offer workshops. So they're virtual, and that's everything from resume building, career planning, interview skills, hidden job market, and one for mature workers, as well. We also offer a wage subsidy program. So it's designed to assist unemployed individuals or underemployed individuals enhance their skills on the job. And this also assists the employer when hiring someone who might lack the necessary skills for a position by offering a percentage of those wages for a duration of up to 24 weeks. Personal employment planning means that you get to meet with an employment advisor. So if you are eligible for that, you get to work on an action plan and help you define your path to success. Job starts as well. So that would mean getting financial supports for work clothing when you get a new job, boots, a uniform, some tools, some short-term courses as well, maybe your food safe, first aid. And then we also offer job sustainment services. So that would be to help you resolve issues impacting your ability to maintain employment and providing on-the-job or in-office support from experienced job coaches. And then we also offer job listings and labor market information newsletter. So that is our job links email out. So if you subscribe to that, it's a daily Monday to Friday email that goes out with local jobs in the area, some labor market information, as well as kind of little tidbits that might be helpful in your employment search. So if you'd like to know anything more about WorkBC services, you can go to our website there. We have all of our information right here for you, and we will also email it out at the end of this presentation as well so that you have that. And finally, you're more than welcome to stop into either of our centers as well, and our front desk staff can tell you a little bit more. You can come see our resource center. You can come and get registered as well. So yeah, that's it for me. So I'm going to pass it over to Melinda now. I will stop sharing my screen, and Mel, you should be good to go.
Awesome. So just take a second here and I will share my screen. And hold on one moment. I've lost you all. I don't know what happened there. Apologies. Okay. All right. Can you see the screen okay? I realize you guys are in the picture, so I'm just going to slide you over there. All right, well, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone today. Thank you for coming. I'm going to share with you a little bit about the interview process. It's kind of the last step in the job seeking process that you have some control over. So it's really an important part of this process. All right, so first of all, it's really important when you are applying for a job that you do your homework on that job. So when you're looking up and you're finding companies that you're interested in, you want to know, who is this company? Interviews can be done in a very formal or informal setting, such as a bench in the middle of the mall. Sometimes they're more traditional, and they can be in settings such as in a boardroom with several interviews. So one thing will be the same is that you'll probably be very nervous, and that's okay. They know you're nervous and they're definitely taking that into an account. So be honest. Being in the hot seat is never fun. However, with a good interviewer, it can feel more like a conversation between friends. So you want to do your homework. You want to know who the company is. You want to know what the products and services that they offer. You'll want to know, is there anything that stands out to you about that company that really interests you? It's important to know the information about the company and what they do to ensure that it's the right fit for you. A big thing also with it, when you're looking and doing your resume, you really want to read the job descriptions. Read through it clearly, check and see, and think, self-reflect a little bit. Do you feel that it's the right job for you? Look at the employer. What kind of skills, what kind of duties are expected in the job? What's the time frame? You want to know, do you have those skills? So think back about your job experience, because it's not necessarily just the qualifications. You may not have the education, but you may have the experience, and you may be able to, when looking at that job description, see if there's something there in experiences that you have that would fit those skills that they're looking for. And you really want to highlight. So you want to customize your resume and your cover letter and highlight those skills and those experiences that you have on your resume to make sure they really understand. So you make it through, you've applied for the job, you've done your homework, everything's looking good, and you have your interview ready to go. So on your interview date, it's really important that you dress for success. I know it's a cheesy kind of slogan, but it is a really important aspect of that interview. You don't get a second chance to make that first impression. You want to look the part. So professional appearance is really important. Be punctual. If you can, arrive like 10, 15 minutes early. Bring with you a copy of your resume, bring a copy of your reference list, bring questions with you. Some people like to bring in a notepad just to take notes. Some employers will offer you a notepad and a pen just so you can take notes throughout. Others don't, so come prepared. Use a firm handshake, or you make sure you're using direct eye contact. Look at them in the eye, greet them with a smile. Right now with COVID, a handshake may or may not. Assess it out to see if they're comfortable. They might not. You can make a light little joke around it if you want. Be personable. So many times people do get very stressed over a job interview. So it's really your best bet, professional version of yourself, and to look at the interview as an adventure. So before going in, take yourself a deep breath, try and calm yourself a little bit, come in with a positive attitude and ready to just, show them who you are. They really just want an opportunity to get to know you. When you're answering those questions, explain where possible, but you don't want to over answer. So really just being very self-aware of how much information you're getting and what that question is that they're asking. And when you're done answering, just stop. It's okay to be silent if you have nothing to add. Some of these questions that may be asked, we'll kind of review a little bit. A big common question is, why should we hire you? So what they're really asking you there is, why do you want this job? So they're wanting to see if you've done your homework. So you should have already done your homework. You've already read about the company. You've kind of self-reflected a little bit. You've thought about your experiences. You've thought about, where you're going and why you want to be there. So you should be able to answer this question. So outlining some of those experiences and why you want to be there. Be honest, be candid about yourself. So what experiences and skills make you a great candidate for this position? Again, you've already done your homework. You've thought about those experiences you have. You've thought about the job description, what they're looking for, and where you can match those. So just, again, share those with them. Describe a time you experienced conflict in the workplace and how you handled it. This is a really important question. This question is really about wanting to know how you're able to handle stressful situations. In any workplace you go to, there's always going to be someone or a coworker that's, kind of rubs you the wrong way, or maybe is having an off day and is a little short or curt about what they're saying. So it's, how do you handle those situations? So really think about when you're in that position, how you're able to not take the situation personally, and how you're able to apply maybe some conflict resolution skills. So think about yourself in a situation. Employers love examples. So if you can give an example of a situation and how you handled it, that would go a long way. And so just be very, again, professional about it. You don't want to be bad mouthing anyone or talking negative. So just really looking at it with the details in which the situation took place and how you were able to resolve that issue. What are your strengths and what do you bring to this job? This is your time to shine. Tell them what makes you so special and what makes you so right for this position. Why do they want to have you there? What would you be able to bring or contribute to this team? Tell me what your biggest weakness is. This doesn't always get often, but it sometimes can be kind of thrown in there, and it's kind of worded in different ways. So sometimes in this area, you want to think of something that you're not maybe that strong at, but you're trying to improve in. So some people have expressed around areas of weakness being they don't know how to say no. And so they're working on becoming more assertive and knowing what their limits are and being able to assess them. It could be something as simple as my greatest weakness is math. That's a common one I've heard a lot. I really don't do math. And what you're doing to improve it. So with whatever weakness you're sharing with them, share with them also how you're working on improving yourself in that area. Why did you leave your last job? This one's really important. Again, when you're there, you are speaking about yourself and you want to show the positive side. You don't want to be bad mouthing your last employer. That never looks good. So you want to make sure that you are sharing from your heart why you're leaving, but also just doing it in a positive light and a respectful light. You're showing respect for your last employer, and you're showing that you can show respect for them going into this new job. It's also a chance for you to ask them questions about the company and the job. Prepare to have a few questions for them. So again, when I mentioned in the beginning, when you're coming in and you have your resume and cover letter, you have a copy of it. You may have a notepad with you. Make sure you're bringing your references with you, but also bring some questions. So when you're doing those researching on that company and you're looking at their web page, think about different questions that you might be able to ask, things that you would enjoy in a job or things you'd like to see. A common question might be, how many applicants have you had for this job? What is the time frame or expectation of a start date? Just showing them that you have some curiosity, maybe ask a little bit about the company. That's something that you saw that kind of intrigued you on their webpage, to find out a little more information to show that you've actually read their webpage. That goes huge. And when you're answering those questions, I often, like to use the STAR method. So really keeping your question or your responses simple and to the point. So look at the situation that they've asked. What is the situation in your example, the task that was involved, the action you took, and the result of it. So if you stick to those for every answer, looking at that STAR method will kind of help you to be able to stick to the topic and not overshare too much. Okay, so common no-nos in an interview. So a lot of times, like I said, bad-mouthing previous employers. People kind of go off on a tangent sometimes, and you're like, whoa, it can take you back a little bit. Another one would be, you didn't do your homework. You don't know anything about the company. It doesn't really show well for you. Another one would be being prepared or unprepared with your answer. Not paying attention, talking too much or oversharing. When you're in an interview, please do not check your phone or your watch during the interview. Just really be present, maintaining eye contact. If you have multiple people, it's okay to rotate around the room and just, make eye contact with each one here and there. Lack of humor, warmth, or personality. If you're just kind of a robot, that's sometimes hard to control. And they do know you're nervous, as I said. So try your best to, put on a smile and try and be warm. Sometimes when you're sharing an explanation, you can share a little funny story or anecdote with it. But again, remember to kind of keep it a little short. Bringing a drink with you sometimes is really good. You might get parched. Some places will offer you a glass of water, but not everywhere. So if you're nervous, sometimes you get that dry mouth and you kind of start smacking your lips a little bit. So bring some water with you. And again, most importantly, first impression, dress appropriately. All right, that is all I have today. I hope this was helpful for you. So I understand we're going to stop for a moment and have some Q&A. And if you have any other further information, you can always, or questions, you can always reach out privately. Great.
Does anyone have any questions for Melinda? You can either pop them in the chat or unmute yourself if you'd like to share. Nope. Okie dokie. Well, maybe we'll move over to you then, Megan, if you'd like to take it from here.
For sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Megan. I am the program coordinator for the Start Youth Employment Program and the Sail Youth Employment Program here at WorkLink. I'm just going to take a moment here to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so here at WorkLink, specifically at the West Shore office, we have the Sail and Start Youth Employment programs, which are two federally funded programs with WorkLink that are contracted until 2023 currently. We have another two cohorts for this program coming up. One will be July 18th and the next one will be in September. So a little bit about us. We have Laura here, who is our program facilitator. Laura is the program facilitator for the START program. Myself, the START and SAIL program coordinator, and then we have Asha, who is our SAIL job developer and runs the SAIL program. So a little bit about the START Youth Employment Program. This program offers youth between the ages of 15 to 30 an opportunity to earn a wide range of certificates, build solid resumes, write effective cover letters, and attain job retention skills. So the program is 6 weeks of in-person group facilitation within the classroom setting facilitated by myself and Laura. And participants are paid minimum wage for all of the hours that they attend the program. So currently minimum wage has just gone up to $15.65 per hour. So participants are paid for 30 hours a week for the 6-week time frame. Following that 6 weeks of your employment training, where we do a variety of certifications and all of that good stuff, you'll go into your 8 weeks of work experience. After we have worked together to find a job. And within this 8-week work experience, we can offer possible access to wage subsidy for the employers. And that wage subsidy is 50% of your wages up to a total of about $9, I believe. So the group setting for the START program goes over a variety of skills. It talks about job search instruction, resume writing, interviewing practice, and life skills development. We also provide industry-specific training certificates to enhance the labor market participation. So some of those certificates, I'll go in a little bit more in depth later about what those might look like. We also go over networking, labor market information, and employment maintenance, which will provide ongoing support with as participants move into their 8 weeks of work experience as well. So we also talk about life skills and employability directed workshops. We have lots of outside facilitators that come in for START and teach life skills from cooking and budgeting. And I will go in a little bit more in depth after about some of those workshops as well. Lastly, on the slide, we provide other financial supports to youth within the program, including job safety gear, interview clothing, counseling supports, childcare support, bus passes, monthly lunches, adaptive technology supports. We have access to computers and Wi-Fi here in the START room. And yeah, so those are kind of the main points of the program. And moving forward to look at some of the workshops that we provide. So a couple of workshops that we are currently offering in our upcoming cohort include cooking essentials workshops, customer service essentials workshops, a Live After 5 young worker awareness program, interpersonal and communication skills workshops, resume and cover letter, art therapy, budgeting, HR and workers' rights, job search and interviewing, career mapping and networking, goal setting, professionalism, and we also offer a job fair day where employers throughout the community will come in to the START program and provide information about positions available, as well as anything they might need to know about wanting to get into a specific industry. There's also many more workshops that are added, and if participants are interested in having someone come to present about something, we're always open to hearing their feedback about that. So the next program that I'm going to talk about is the SAIL Youth Employment Program, which is a bit of an offshoot of the START program. This program is similar to START. It offers youth between the ages of 15 to 30 an opportunity to access in-person and individualized employment search, job support, and workshop facilitation. So specifically the program, the main differences between SAIL and START is that SAIL works on an individualized and one-on-one basis. The job developer in the SAIL program has the opportunity to meet participants in the community in order to assist with possible barriers with coming into the WorkLink building or things like that. The job developer is also able to assist with on-site job coaching and a variety of areas like that. Participants are paid for 30 hours for a 2-week period. So unlike the START program that is 6 weeks, the SAIL Youth Employment Program is run for a total of 2 weeks or 60 hours. But you still have access to, you still have access to all of the wage subsidy, the 8 weeks of work experience, the workshop certifications, interview practice, all of that good stuff is still offered in the SAIL program as well. Specifically because the SAIL program is a little bit more intense than the START program for its time frame. The areas that are included in this program include professionalism, goal setting, resume and cover letter, job hunting, and interviewing. So lastly, one of the things I want to talk about the programs is the different certificates that we offer, which can be really beneficial in helping our participants kind of get a foot in the door and some qualifications for different jobs that they might be interested in. So some of the certifications that we currently have offered or have offered in the past are the Customer Service Essentials Certificate, Psychological First Aid, Serving It Right, Food Safe Level 1, Occupational First Aid, WMIS, Psychological First Aid Caring for Self and Others, Respectful Workplace, Anti-Bullying Prevention Training, Responsible Adult Training, Pet Therapeutic Nutrition Coach, Forklift Operation, and Selling It Right. We use a variety of different providers for these certifications. We can offer some online and some in person, and can have certificate providers come into the WorkLink building in order for our participants to get certified, which can really just make it easier for them, to be able to access them. So we also, alongside these certificates, much like the workshops, if participants are interested in gaining a certificate that we haven't previously mentioned, we're always open to hearing from them and would be happy to look into different certificates and see if it is an option for us to provide for them. So moving forward out of the START and SAIL youth employment programs, I will touch base on just a couple of tips and tricks for your job searching that we have found to be really beneficial for the youth within our programs. So the first tip and trick is networking. Tell anyone and everyone that you're looking for work and be specific about your industries or work of interest. You don't have to know everything, but you do need to be open to learning and developing the areas that you don't know about. And this is called professional development, and it's a strong asset to employers. So, going into an interview, sometimes we can feel, or when we're looking for jobs, we can feel a little bit down on ourselves if we're not sure how to answer a question or we don't have knowledge of something. And the most important part of that is being open to learn about it. Employers love to know that their employees want to continue to grow and develop, and that in itself is one of the most important skills that you can have. Go in with confidence. The employer is looking to solve a problem, and you want to be confident that you will be the ideal solution to their problem. So employers are looking to fill a position within their company. They're looking for somebody who will be able to, complete certain tasks and basically to solve that problem within their workplace that's currently missing. So you want to go in there and tell them how you're going to be able to do that and how you will be a benefit to their company. Don't limit yourself based on experience or qualifications. So employers will often list their ideal candidate or qualifications. However, this is often more of a wish list than a required credentials for the position. So usually in brackets, they'll put like preferred or optional or things like that. So it's never a bad idea to apply for the position. And the very worst thing that can happen is you either don't hear back or you get to go in for an interview and you'll get practice in the interview process, whether you are called back for the position or not. So really it's a win-win either way. A positive mindset goes a long way, and it allows you to be more open to opportunities that you might not have otherwise pursued. So positive mindset and reframing our thoughts is a huge part of our job search. It's very easy to start to feel discouraged in your job search if it's taking a little while. And keeping that positive mindset and just being open to opportunities that arise is a huge part of keeping the momentum going in the job search. So with that being said, don't get discouraged. The job hunting process can be long and frustrating, and while you're waiting to hear back from employers, don't wait for the phone to ring or give up out of self-doubt. Keep an active job search. Something will come your way if you continue searching with persistence and dedication. So, you know, if you only apply to two places, then you're limiting yourself to only being having the option to get hired at two places. If you keep your job search active and ongoing, then you're providing more opportunities for yourself to succeed. So applications and interviewing. When applying for a job position, it's essential that you research the company. I know Melinda touched on this a little bit earlier in hers as well. So yeah, research the company, including their values and mission statements and how these might align with your own. This is something that we often suggest to our participants. Most companies, if you look up online values and mission statements, it will come up unless they're a very small family-owned business, they might not have one. But yeah, that can be one of the easiest ones to try to tie into your interview. Think about a couple of different values that they have listed on their website and figure out how they align with your own. And it gives you a really great talking point when they might ask you a question such as, why do you want to work for this company? Another one that Melinda touched on, we're on the same wavelength, dress for success. Again, it is a little corny, but it is so accurate. Always dress for the job that you want and not the job you have. Be well groomed, prepared with good hygiene, professional clothing when handing out resumes and attending an interview. Yeah, so we always say, no matter what job you're applying for, always think of where you're hoping to go in the future and dress for that. When it comes to networking and your professional relationships, you never know who might know someone or who might be able to provide you with a referral or a reference or things like that. And always kind of putting out that first impression of being dressed professionally is very helpful. Customize your cover letter and resume to the individual job postings. So talk about the values, the mission statement, and use wordings used from the job posting or description. So usually in a job posting, they might say something along the lines of, we are looking for a dedicated, punctual, and hardworking individual who is certified in standard first aid. And so in your application on your cover letter, you might say something along the lines of, I am a punctual, hardworking, and dedicated individual who would be able to benefit your company through my certification in standard first aid, as well as various other attributes. So really pull those words in, because when they see those words, it's going to stand out to them and they'll know that you've also looked into it and you know what kind of things they're looking for. Ensure that your email, voicemail, social media, and other contact platforms are appropriate and free of coarse language, inappropriate images, etc. So it was quite a popular fad a while ago to have some funny voicemails and whatnot on your personal phones. However, being that those are the phone numbers that we use on our resumes and cover letters and such for employers to contact us, making sure that they will reach a professional sounding individual, whether it's voicemail or you're actually picking up the phone, is really important. And to touch a little bit on social media and other platforms as well, just keeping in mind that depending on your privacy settings, individuals might be able to see what kind of things you're putting out there. So take a look at your privacy settings. Profile pictures and cover photos are always public, so be aware of that when you're choosing those. always apply through the company website and not through the Indeed, Craigslist, or other ads. Employers are more likely to see and respond to your applications if they're sent directly to them rather than through a third-party website. Now, on Indeed, they might say that they are actively checking their Indeed applications, and that's great. So you can definitely apply through Indeed, but it can never hurt to do a little bit more digging and see if you can find an email for direct contact at the company to also send your information off to. Track and keep copies of submitted applications, the job posting, and the employer contact information, as well as when you applied and what date you will follow up. With keeping an active job search and making sure you're, sending out applications on an ongoing basis, sometimes it can get a little bit confusing with similar jobs, positions within the same companies, and things like that. So always having a good tracking form. You can use Excel, a Word document, or you can use a piece of paper if you prefer physical copies, but keeping some sort of tracking and your follow-up time. So it's always a good practice to follow up with an employer about a week after and just check in and see where they're at with the interviewing process and if you can expect to hear back from them. Yeah. Practice common interview questions and possible answers. I won't go too much into depth about this because Melinda did review those, but common questions can be found on Google. A quick Google search will pull them up. And it's always great to review some of your possible answers before an interview takes place. And I'll say it again, because if there's one main takeaway I would like you guys to have, it is to research the company that you're applying for before the interview. If you can show that you are interested in the company and why it matches with you and they would be a good fit for you and you're a great fit for them, it will go a very long way. And lastly, after an interview, send a thank you email to the employer for providing the opportunity and re-express your interest in the position. If you have not heard back from the employer within 1 week, call or send a follow-up email regarding the position. So a quick thank you email really does go a long way as well. I've had many employers tell me that it makes a huge difference for them. So just, thanking them for taking the time to connect with you and provide you with the opportunity is really, really beneficial for yourself. It can definitely help keep you in their mind. And that is everything that I have to present.
Does anyone have any questions for Megan? Again, you can pop them in the chat or you can unmute yourself.
I'll add quickly. I touched base a little bit at the beginning, but just to reiterate, our next start group is beginning on July 18th. So we are doing the recruitment for that this week and next week. If anybody is interested in the program, please just send an email to myself or Laura, and I can put our contact information in the chat there. And we'd be happy to book you an interview as soon as possible within the next couple of days here and see if the program's a good fit for you and for you to see if it's a good fit as well.
Great. Oh, so there is a question. Oh, Megan, did you see it?
I did.
Yeah.
Brianna asked if someone's interested in a later date, can they be put on the wait list? Yes, most definitely. We have our next group starting in September. So if you have plans for the summer, if you're going away on some trips, completely understandable. Just reach out to us. We'll put you on the wait list for September and we will reach out to you to book an interview when that group is beginning.
Any more questions? No? Well, I will just share our contact information one more time. So again, this is some contact information if you'd like to jot it down. We will also send out an email after this with the WorkBC contact information and Megan's and Melinda's too, if you'd like to ask her any more interview questions. So again, I'd like to thank you all for attending today for our Youth at Work Lunch and Learn. And yeah, we look forward to speaking with any of you in the future. So I hope everybody has a great rest of their days. There you go. Oh, and I see a question. Where can we see this recording? This will be on YouTube afterwards. So we will include that link in the email that we send out with the contact information. Okie dokie. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. See ya.